Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well and you've had a good week. So what have we got today? As you can see, we've got the Iron Trans IR-V01B, they're called Dark Saber, which is, I suppose, a chassis glass interpretation of Star Saber from the G1 continuity, more so the Japanese one. So I don't have a box for him, so I can't show you that, but if you do have the original version, the box is exactly the same as the normal coloured one. But however, you do get accessories still. I have the strange poster instructions. Bit weird. It does the job still. It's out of the way behind it. We have the massive sword. Put that down in front because it's just going to fall over. We have the smaller sword. We have the blaster, which is used for both the small bots and, look that out, the big bot. Then you get a bag of little pieces. I'm not going to go through the whole lot individually. You get a different handle for the sword, some posable hands, so you can get that on, it's a bit dark. Some posable hands for the smaller robot, and then some screw covers. And also, which I forgot to put this in, you get the smaller robot. And that's really dark today, I've got my shadow out of the way. And that sits inside the head of a little one, as the cartoon has it. Okay, so why haven't I got a box? Because I was late getting this one. I always wanted to, but I think it was at a time when a lot of other bits was coming out, they released this, so it ended up being missed out. I got this one from the DP Robot store off AliExpress, which is always a little bit risky buying things off there, whether they turn up or not. And I paid £110 for it, which is about $170. Yeah, so it's a bit of a risk sometimes getting it off there in the first place, and second, buying it without a box, you never know how it's going to arrive and what condition it's going to arrive in. However, I've used this DP Robot store quite a few times now. The orders, you pay a reasonable price, and a lot of the time, all the time I've used it, all the bits have come in okay. But again, AliExpress isn't everyone's cup of tea. Normally, I think when he was new, being sold at main stores like Shozy, Bomsey Bus, they was about the same sort of price, about £110. Thinking about it, is quite a big figure with a lot of die cast, so the price is sort of fair. Anyway, that's enough about the boring side of it. Let's have a closer look at the figure. Let's get the accessories shifted and get into it. Okay, so figure itself is quite a big one. He's 34 centimeters tall, which is about 13.4 inches. And from the front, as you can see, he looks pretty imposing. Let's do a quick spin. Side, pretty much the same. The back, very clean, nice die-cast joints on display. Other side, yeah, pretty much same as the other. And then back to the front. So, what have we got? Let's have a zoom into the head. One of the critiques I've got with this guy is, move my shadow out of the way, the eyes. I don't know if you can see in there, but they've gone for red light piping eyes on the helmet, which doesn't make any sense. The back, solid piece of plastic. So why would you do light piping inside the helmet? Or maybe it's just because they've used clear plastic, but again, it should have just been painted in the metallic red paint. Don't understand that. Okay, so the head, let's zoom in, go a bit closer. About the shadow, come on, I need to sort the lighting out in here. Nice blue and purple accents on there. purple and gold with the grey background on the chest, with the blue shoulder, going down to the waist and the feet. It's a very nicely painted figure. Can't fault it for that. It looks lovely. So as a display piece, it looks fantastic. The colour scheme is probably the reason why I bought, well, not probably the reason, is the reason why I bought it. I think the purple, gold, blue and the grey really go well together. And it looks, I think it looks phenomenal. Even the die-cast joints that have been painted, you just add to it. It's a fantastic looking figure. However, it's not without its faults, which we'll start to see now when we go through the articulation. First thing I've noticed is the antennas on his head. In theory, they're brilliant. Fully flexible, even the side bits move. But this one, it keeps getting caught. Let's compare it to that one, all the way down, all the way up. This one is very stiff, and it's quite, there we go. It's quite a thin bit of plastic holding it on, so it worries me. It's going to snap off. Head, pretty much standard 360 all the way around. A little bit up. Not too much up, because when you do start to go up, you end up revealing the smaller head. And as you can see, while I'm waffling about, no, you can't see it because the camera's there. Hang on, I'm just going to sort this light out. It's really dark. Okay, and you know why it was really dark? Because my battery was on 5%. Genius. So as you can see here, those red eyes on that one look brilliant. When you pop on the small helmet, trick is do it forwards. No, you don't. Get it at an angle and sort of pop it back on backwards. You end up getting those tiny shrimp eyes, red, which you can't even see in the dark. They don't stand out. There you go. Tiny red eyes. It's bizarre. Bit of a weird design choice. That's enough about that. I think I've made that point clear. Front, you can move the wing parts forward, and you get all the way around on a friction joint, nice and tight at the moment. Not much outwards, but you do get a butterfly joint, which is great for the sword. A bit of a bicep swivel, again, very tight. But in terms of bicep, you only get that far. Let's move this one now. Waist, you get ab crunch, but no swivel. Hip skirts, front move and side moves. Anyone that buys this, just watch out, because the hip skirt, this bit pops off, is held on by these two tiny balls sitting at the top, and they feel a bit fragile. I don't trust them. That just pops back on, dead easy. Leg, they're very heavy. Out to the side. Not much backwards at all. No backwards at all. But front, it gets you right the way up. Brilliant on that one. Knee, again all friction. Gets you a deep bend. No forward. And then, coming on to the biggest bugbear I've got with this guy, is the feet. No outwards heel pivot, toe up and toe down, but the lack of an outward heel turn is just a bit disappointing for such a big figure. It saves you can't get in much foot poses sideways. It limits the amount of leg spread you can do. Bit disappointed with that. So that really limits his posability. However, let's finish on something positive. Holding the sword, the fingers, which I forgot to mention, let's do that first, are really good. Each one sprays, goes out. You can get some real emotive signs with them. And the sword, it goes into a slot on his hand. Give it a push, line it up, and he's not going to drop that. Hand it over, push that down, pose him a bit, and there you go. Turn the sword in his hand. Let's see how that looks. Zoom it out a bit. That's picking it up there. The sword looks brilliant. It's painted in a metallic red, which is very similar to Fans Toys Fortress Max metallic red they use for that. It looks brilliant. Right, so there we have him. He's a really good figure, but with some massive posability issues. Let's have a look how he looks with the normal coloured version. If they can both fit on camera. Move him over. And he's also bought his sword. So again, hang on, let's turn that so we can see it. Yeah, it's not doing it justice at the moment, but the dark version sword is just so much eye-catching, so much more eye-catching than compared to the standard version, dust and all. I think they're a bit more stylised than the official Takara Masterpiece version, which is very accurate to the cartoon, but they do bring I suppose they look a bit more mature, a bit more grown-up versions these two do. Very nice figures. Before we finish, let's just wrap it up with a bit of comparison with a few Masterpiece figures to see how it goes with it. Okay, so here he is next to Magic Square's Optimus Prime. Okay, let's get in more metallic bot in there. What could be more metallic than Fans Toys Scourge? You can see a bit there, the red. Same sort of red as the toes. Well, that's not a great example. And finally, let's get another heavyweight guy in the form of Giga Power's Slug. And the Dark Saber is still bigger. But there you go. Okay, so there you have it. Summarise, great looking figure, poor articulation. If you want it just to display and look eye-catching on your shelf, this is the guy for you. If you want to pose it, get it into good positions and mess with it constantly, the lack of ratchets, the friction joints and the lack of posability would probably be quite off-putting. Will someone else probably do this in shattered glass colours? That's another question you've got to ask. Is it going to be a rarity? Will Takara do it? Who knows? I don't think it's popular enough for someone like that to take another shot at it. However, it's not, no other third-party company has really tackled this yet as much. To my knowledge, this is the only Star Saber mould a third-party company's done. X-Transports haven't done one. Fans Toys hasn't done one currently. Oh, I know there is one by, I forget the name of it now, MMC, slightly smaller version of Star Saber, and I think that actually they have done a shattered glass one. So on that note, ignore me. I still recommend him because I think it looks different and I do like a bit of variation in the collection. That stands out, especially the colour scheme. Where I'm going to put him, I've got no idea, because the other issue is he doesn't really match anything I've got. He's too big for the rest of the shattered glass stuff, and I don't really know if it is actually shattered glass or just a dark version. You know, you can pass it off as shattered glass quite easily. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you've got any opinions, if you've got this guy, tell me what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And again, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a great week. Take care, and hopefully see you all soon. Thanks again. Bye then.